Hello. Today we're taking a closer look at the Tesla app, your hub for managing all your Tesla products right from your phone. From the Powerwall 3 to the Tesla wall connector, the app lets you monitor energy usage, check battery status, control charging, and much more. Let's dive in and see just how easy it is to stay connected to your home energy system. All right, so let's start by how do you download the Tesla app. So you're going to type Tesla into the search bar of your device's app store. Typically it's going to be one of the first apps that pop up, but really make sure it's the red one with the Tesla logo here, the official Tesla app. Go ahead and download that if you haven't already. Click on that app. I already have it downloaded here, so I'm going to click open, and then that's going to take me directly in. Now, if you don't have Tesla credentials, you're going to have to make those, but if you're a Tesla vehicle owner, the good news is you already have that, so go ahead and use those credentials to log in. So once your system's been installed and commissioned, you'll pop up to this home page right here. On this home page, you're going to see a picture of a home with your solar system, your batteries, and if you have a wall connector, that'll be here too. This is called the Power Flow, and this shows you at a glance everything you'd want to know about your system. Now, one of the things I like to say right away is if you long click here at the top, you can actually customize the name of your system. It comes by default as My Home. Feel free to change that, or if you're fine with My Home, you can leave it be. Totally up to you. But as you can see here on this home, we've got 2.2 kilowatts of solar being generated. The home is drawing 14.2 kilowatts. We're pulling 12 kilowatts from grid, and our Powerwall's at 30% and charging. So there's a lot of data here that you can gather just at a glance. Now we've got some categories down here at the bottom. We've got energy, impact, settings, go off grid, and support. I'm going to start with the energy tab. We're going to click that, and this is a great page to get more in depth with your data. There's going to be a lot going on here. One of the things I recommend doing right away is to go up to this top right-hand corner where it says day. We're going to click that, and I like to move that to month. That gives you a lot more data on your front page here, 30 days worth of data. And here you can really see how much energy you've used from the grid, how much you've used of your own created energy, and take a look at how much of your home has been powered by grid, Powerwall, or your solar. At the bottom here, we've got a couple of tabs. This one that's shaped like a home is going to be kind of an all-in-one information center for all of your data. You can click the Powerwall tab to get Powerwall specific data. Same with this little grid, it's a solar panel. You can get your solar data here, and then this one that looks like a set of power lines is going to be for your grid data, all in the energy tab. I encourage you to explore here. The more you use this, the more it's going to become intuitive and make a lot of sense. So back on the home page, we're going to click on impact, and then you'll see here we've got even more data. Now this data is more nice to know, not necessarily need to know. This is really going to help you with the more granular data here. Really good if you want to see how much you've saved or how much you're spending. All that lives here. You can see your offset, so how much of your home is being offset by the power you've created by your solar system. Really cool here. And then you've got a backup history. This is one of my personal favorites. This shows you all the off-grid events you've had, how many you've had, and how long they've lasted. Really good if you're curious how your Powerwall's been helping you out, because it does everything automatically. You may not even notice sometimes that you've gone off-grid. So this is a great record of how many times your Powerwall's kind of bailed you out in case you weren't keeping track of that. Back to the home page, let's go to settings. There's a lot going on in settings here, so kind of hang with me. Phone pairing is a big one. You're going to want to pair your phone via Bluetooth to your Powerwall system if you ever plan to use the go off grid setting. We haven't talked about that yet, but we will shortly. It's not 100% necessary to do this, but if you're going to use that setting, please make sure that you pair it via Bluetooth. Otherwise, you may not be able to control your system while off grid. Now, if we click on Powerwall, we've got our backup reserve. This is one of those features that I get questions about all the time. What should this be? By default, it comes as a 20% backup, and that is the amount of reserve, meaning if you're using your Powerwalls at night or trying to be as off-grid as you possibly can be, this setting will make sure that you have a certain percentage of your Powerwall always saved for an outage. Again, by default, it's at 20%. If you live somewhere where outages are not common, 10% is probably going to be fine. If you do have outages on a regular basis, maybe bump that up to 30% like what you see here. You can play with it, it's dynamic. see what works best for you. This isn't something that's set in stone. All of these settings can be changed at any time. Now moving down, operational mode is another big one. We've got self-powered and we've got time-based control. If you have a utility that has a time of use plan where electricity is more expensive during certain times of the day, then maybe time-based control is better for you. That's great for those of you that want to maybe charge your Powerwall. If you don't have solar, you're charging from grid, you want to charge your Powerwall during the cheapest rate possible, typically overnight, and then utilize that Powerwall during the most expensive time of use period, which is typically 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. depending on your utility. If you have questions about that, check your bill or call your utility and they'll answer those for you. Self-powered is going to be good for most people. This is when you're setting your Powerwall to essentially be as off-grid as possible. Using your Powerwall at night, when the sun is down and your solar system's not producing, you can power your home via your Powerwall and really shrink down that utility bill and maximize your savings there. You also have an option here at the bottom for utility rate plan. This is where you're going to set up your utility rate plan. You're going to tell the app what utility you have, what your buy rate is per kilowatt hour, that sort of information. If you don't see your utility listed in here, don't worry, there is an option here for a custom rate plan. I'm not going to change it currently because I have mine in place. But yeah, if your utility is not listed, just know you can make a custom plan here. Then we've got permission to export. This almost always needs to stay on yes. This is giving you the ability to export excess power you're not using to the grid and accumulate credits with your utility if they allow you to do so. We want to make sure this does not get toggled to yes until your system's been fully installed and you've been granted permission to operate. But once you have, make sure that's on yes, so any excess energy once your battery's been filled can go to the grid and you can bank those credits. And then finally, grid charging. Grid charging is going to be for like storm watch. We haven't talked about that yet, but we will. I have it restricted at the moment. Some folks just don't want to utilize grid charging at all, and that's your prerogative to do that. For most folks, I think grid charging is okay, especially if you want to take advantage of storm watch, which we'll talk about shortly. Now, heading back to the back one page, we've got vehicle charging. If you do have a Tesla vehicle, this is where you can set up charge on solar, where essentially you can tell the app that you only want to charge your vehicle from solar. Here you can see my vehicle name. It's not paired at the moment, but you can pair your Tesla wall connector here and actually turn on and off a few settings. Charge from solar is one of them. Also, you do have ability here to load shed your charger in an off-grid scenario as well. Stormwatch is a really cool feature here. The Powerwall actually has the ability to look at weather data and anticipate a severe incoming storm, one severe enough to potentially cause an outage. And it will look at your usage, how you typically use your Powerwall, look at its levels, and if it's below a certain level that it thinks is safe for an outage, it has the ability to rapid charge from the grid to make sure that you're not left in the dark when that storm arrives. I have it turned off here currently because we don't want to charge from the grid, but if you're okay with that, hopefully you've got some credits built up so where that doesn't cost you anything. But yeah, really smart, intuitive, something you don't even have to think about. Now going back one page from Stormwatch, we'll get into utility rate plan. Again, I have my utility set up in here now, but you can set up your custom utility, choose your utility provider, input your rate here. And again, if yours isn't listed, you can make a custom one here. And this is going to be great so you can keep track of your savings and your credits that you've sent back to your utility. Without doing this step, it's going to be very difficult to know how much money you've saved with your system. This will give you a monetary value based off the data you input here. So very, very awesome, something I highly recommend you doing if you haven't done it yet. All right, now going back, we've got Wi-Fi. Pretty self-explanatory here, what Wi-Fi does. It's just setting up the Wi-Fi for your Tesla equipment. So if you have a Powerwall, this was probably done when it was installed, but not a bad idea to check here and make sure you're seeing the right SSID for your network paired here. It's great for a secondary means of transmitting data. Powerwall does have the ability to transmit data through cell, but Wi-Fi is needed as a primary means for transmitting data, and cell is used as a backup in case Wi-Fi goes down. Now, manage access is really nice. I'm not going to click on that. There's some personal info in there, but this one's pretty self-explanatory as well. If you'd like to share access of your Tesla app to someone else, perhaps somebody else that lives in your home. This is easy. You click that, input their email, and they'll get a link so that they can download the Tesla app and also have access to the system on their phone. And finally, My Home Info is going to be the info for your home, your address, your mapping. You're also going to find serial numbers and important information about your Tesla equipment. If you're ever curious about your model numbers or your serial numbers, that's going to be in My Home Info. Now, going back from settings, we've got the Go Off Grid tab. Remember I mentioned earlier you'd want to make sure you paired your phone before that. I haven't done that yet, so pair that. The Go Off Grid is going to be more of like a kind of a party trick, kind of a demo, if you will, to people if you want to show them what your Powerwall can do. If you want to be fully off grid, I recommend keeping it in self-powered mode. But this is cool if you say, hey, you want to show it off to somebody and say, check out what this thing can do. Go Off Grid is going to be the button for that. And then finally, support. Support's going to be there for you if you need anything else. If you want to learn more about your system, tutorials, you name it. There's also some really good stuff on the Tesla YouTube channel. The Tesla Installer Academy is very good if you're a more technical person and you want to kind of peek behind the curtain and see how this stuff works and how it's installed. But yeah, support's going to be there for you if you need any resources or look at any of your energy system performance here. Everything that you would need for more information is in support. And then finally, you've got your message tab up here where you can see messages sent to you from Tesla, important information that they may have sent to you about your system. And that's a quick look at the Tesla app and how it puts control of your energy right at your fingertips. Whether you're managing your Powerwall, your wall connector, or monitoring your overall energy usage, the app makes it simple and convenient. With Earthright, getting set up and making the most of your Tesla equipment has never been easier.